Can you believe it is already time for back to school? The summer is flying by, and that means it is time for an updated homeschool room tour. Hi, I'm Sarah. I'm the mom to 3 little girls ages 7, just about 5, and just about 2. And I am homeschooling. This is now our second full year homeschooling. And my daughters are going into 2nd grade, 2nd year of preschool, and then my toddler is 2. So she's not really doing any kind of formal schooling. But we have changed a lot of how we homeschool, how we use this room in the last year. And so I thought it'd be fun to do an updated homeschool room tour because I have changed quite a few things. So let's come along and look at our room. So the cool thing about this room, or kind of the frustrating thing that now we made into a cool thing, is that we enter through our back door. It's just the way our house is laid out that it just makes the most sense to enter through the back. And so we had to create this little entryway inexpensively to divide our playroom slash homeschool room from our entryway. We live in Minnesota, so there's half a year when we need coats and mittens and hats and boots and snow pants and all the things, and with 5 of us, that takes up a lot of space. And so we created this little area in our homeschool room to have an entryway, and we just added this Kallax unit, and I added some pegboard to the back. I just screwed it in wherever there were the shelves or the sides. I added this nice big mirror, and then it's nice because it is a pegboard. We can rearrange the hooks and the different baskets. We added a little shoe organizer, and then we have an additional little 2x3 Kallax unit that is great for extra coats and hats and mittens and things for our girls, towels for drying things off in the summertime, and reusable bags and all of the things. And then on the opposite side we have another 2x2 unit for my husband and my shoes, and then we have this little bench that has 3 different bins for each of our girls' extra shoes. So this has worked out really well for us, and I like how it's very divided. It feels like a wall, but it's added a ton of storage to this side, but also to our homeschool room. So let's head over there. So this is a multi-level house. So we've got stairs to the upstairs over here where our kitchen is. This is stairs down to the basement, and then we have this room here, which is our homeschool room slash playroom. So over here, this is actually a shoe cabinet that has tons of extra storage for shoes and things if we need it. And I added this beautiful map up here. It fits perfectly on this wall. We can pull it down easily if we want to reference something for learning about geography. And then I got these super cute little houses that are great for nature displays, and I will have links to as many different things in the description. So this is just from the last year, different things we've collected, different beehives, rocks, pine cones, acorns, little shells, cicada, exoskeletons, and lots of rocks and things. And we got these agates in Duluth, Minnesota, and we just love having that here. And it's a nice spot if we have to set something to remember to take it when we leave in the morning or whatever. This is a good dumping ground for that. So let's head in to the main room. So what you'll probably notice right away is this fireplace. And this, I used to do daycare, so this was my daycare space, and so we did this right away. We added these cushions just with some plywood and some foam and batting, and then we would wrap the fleece around it and stapled it underneath, and we just sat them right on top. And they have worked so well for these little areas for kids to play or read. And then this one, we just found out that one of these, I think it's closet made cube units, fits perfectly here. So this is drilled right into the brick. So it is a wood burning fireplace back there, but obviously we don't use it. And this has been a great place to keep toys. And it's awesome because when my daughter wasn't quite 2 yet, she could not reach this top row. So that's a great place to keep bigger kid toys, but now she can kind of pull all of it down. So we gotta be careful, but I just love how this looks. It adds a little bit of texture and interest to the room to have the brick, but we've also made it very functional. And then on either side, I added curtains, but we have built-in shelves, which I'll show you in a little bit of what we have stored in there. So let's start over here. This is kind of the more homeschool type stuff. And then this is more of the play area because we do play in here too. So I like it to serve double duty because 2 of my girls are still not even to kindergarten age yet. So they do a lot of playing while I'm doing more focus work with my 7-year-old. So we have a craft cabinet here, which I'll take you inside. And then I have this 3-tiered cart that has most of our homeschooling supplies. I'm not going to spend a lot of time going into it, but I will have a video on what we're using this year for homeschooling. And I just keep most of our materials on here, which is nice because I can cart it around the room really easily. And then I just recently reorganized this, but it just has a lot of craft supplies. We've got different paints, and this drawer has paintbrushes and watercolors and acrylic paints and liquid watercolors and Q-tips and stuff like that. And then I've got, you know, scissors, extra crayons, big construction paper, some office-y stuff in here, buttons, a crayon sharpener, different Velcro and markers and color pencils and all that good stuff. And then down here I've got glue and pipe cleaners with strainers. We've got our little disco ball we love for dance parties, magnifying glasses. We've got perler beads in different sizes, craft noodles, and then just some random craft supplies. And this is my sensory bin, all my different mix-ins for different themed sensory bins I keep in different bags in here. Up here on top, I love having this up high storage for things I don't want to pull out very often and I don't want my kids getting into. So this, I would highly recommend you keep a, what we call a crazy craft bin. When you're bought a craft set or you're using some materials but you don't use all when you're doing crafts, you can put all the excess in a bin, and over time it fills up with all kinds of random goodies. And so once a month or on a rainy day, you pull that out, you give them glue, you give them scissors, you give them markers, and let them just create. And my kids love this, and all my daycare kids would stay busy for 30 to 60 minutes every single time. So I love that. And then up here I just have a couple sensory bins we put together that I have one for my toddler and one for my older girls. We keep a little fold up trampoline in here, which is great for the winters that all my kids can use, and it's super easy to take out and also put away. And then over here we have our dresser with a bunch of supplies on top and inside of it, and then our homeschool table, which has already gotten a lot of love this past year, but we just keep this little storage container with color pencils and crayons and pencils, and we got these metal chairs. I love these cushions. It took 2 different tries to get cushions that actually stay, so I'll link to those below as well. But I love these chairs because they do stack up and they can take a lot of abuse, which I appreciate. And then we are still in summer mode here, but eventually this will probably hold our timeline because we're learning early American history, so that's what I'm planning to put up here. But right now we just have our summer bucket list that we do every single year, and we could check things off that we do. And on our dresser I keep our 100 board. This is from Treasures by Jennifer. I have this like Montessori puzzle type thing. I've got markers and erasers for our whiteboard, which is just a new addition. Here I have our daubers that I can give to my 1-year-old. Got a timer. I don't know what I'm doing with these yet, but these sets of index cards were at Target this year. Got this like ruler bracelet, boredom busters. I made this quite a few years ago. If they're really bored, we can pull out a stick and do whatever's on it. My girls have various little books they've been working on. I keep a bin of wipes for when we're doing crafts like painting, and if they want to wipe off their skin, we can get to that. These little clay pots they made. When we are in homeschool mode, I will have our verse for the week right on here. We've got our little flag, and then our gorgeous calendar, which I got pretty affordably on Etsy. I will link it below, but I absolutely love this thing. It's so pretty. And then inside our dresser, we hold all kinds of things. So this, basically, I got this for like $5 it's a Lakeshore body parts, like organs vest. This is my drawer of craft things for when I'm doing read alouds with them that I got at Michael's for like 75% off. So this has tons of crafts and also these little preschool kits I got from Little Learner's Busy Box that I subscribed to for a while. I have a whole bunch of these, so these are just things that they can pull out and do when we're doing read aloud so that their hands stay busy. We've got stuff for our calendar, and then just random craft supplies that I haven't really dealt with yet. These 2 sides mostly have puzzles, and then we have like magnetic little dolls. and puzzles, our parachute, and some little ladybug bean bags. So these are all great things that our girls can grab and just take right to the table when we are, you know, if I'm working with one of the kids, or if I'm reading, then they can be doing that while and still stay focused. And then this side has just more like random kits. Like we've got these bead sets, a little cupcake game. We've got this sand and letter tray, these little make-a-face, just random puzzles and different things that they can do at the table. Same with over here, plus we've got our microscope down there as well. I wanted to add a whiteboard this year. I think chalkboards are way prettier, but I think whiteboards are just more functional right now, so I don't have to be cleaning the floor all the time underneath the chalkboard. So I added this inexpensive whiteboard. I have our schedule up here, and then I thought we could use the bottom for if my daughter needs to write out sentences, or if, you know, we're working on something. I think it's just nice to have a different place for them to write. They can also write on the windows. I have window markers as well. And also if I'm explaining something, I can do that here, and they're literally sitting right here, so it's nearby. I just really am excited about that. We have this little storage tower here, and so what I did is I just pulled out some different materials from here and some different materials that I have stored in our Kallax unit. And this is where my big girls can come and also pull out various other things to bring to the table. I just thought, you know, sometimes stuff gets really buried in these drawers, and so I thought I would just change this out every month to give them some fresh and new things they may not have thought of playing with. Like these brain flakes are fun. And then we just have this little reading corner that all my girls can sit at, but my toddler can sit here. She can climb up here now, but this is a nice little reading area in here as well. And then over here in front of the fireplace, we have just bins of toys. I rotate these out every month. I have many weekly prep videos where I show how I do toy rotation, so I'll link to some of those below. But basically I just rotate toys to make it more fun and interesting, and so that we don't have all of them out at once, and that they're actually getting played with and cycled through. So my girls can come here anytime and pull out a toy to play with. I just keep some reference books we like to reference often up here with our little A to Z bookends, like our dictionary, life cycles, our animal book, some ABC and 1, 2, 3 books for toddlers, a devotional, and this alpha block book, which is my absolute favorite for teaching letters to little kids. Here we have some books we want to read aloud, so when we finish one, I can come here and get another one. And then the focal point for the whole room is my favorite. My best friend made this for me, and it is one of my favorite Anne Shirley quotes from Anne of Green Gables. It says, "I believe the nicest and sweetest days are not those on which anything very splendid or wonderful or exciting happens, but just those that bring simple little pleasures." And that's something I really want to focus on as a homeschooling mom, and that I want my kids to experience in their childhood, is those simple little pleasures. And then we have a globe. Over here we have our cat tree that I have a love-hate relationship with. I don't love how it looks, but our cat loves it, so I'm happy. We have a little book rack up here so our older girls can climb up and look at books up here with some pillows. And then here we have a rug we got for 30 bucks at Walmart so that kids have a soft place to play. And then we added this little table that I thought would be perfect for my toddler. My 4-year-old can also play here, but I pictured it more as my 2 older girls will be sitting here for various parts of the lessons. And my 2-year-old, almost 2-year-old, can too. But I just thought she would really like to have a little space of her own, so she feels like a big kid too. So I thought I'd just switch out what I have on here. We have these little tracer boards here so she could trace her letters and numbers, which is very advanced for her right now. This Grimm stacker toy, and it's just a fun little place. And then for her, I have various little things she can play with and bring to her table that I will switch out from time to time. So just a really fun thing for her to feel included and to have a limited amount of things that she has access to every single day. And then up here I just have our different books we've been working on and looking at most days in the summertime, next to our little chair that we got from Ikea that I will read at a lot of the time. So here's our cube unit. These bottom bins are for mostly the bottom ones are for toys. So we've got like our Magnetiles in here, this amazing Lakeshore treehouse builder we love. These are random like baby and toddler toys. our roads that go along with our cars and our ramp. And then these bins are just kind of random things, like these are all felt things. Some magnets, different scrapbook paper, and then tons of clipboards from when I did daycare, and these little trays that I use for various things. We've got our abacus, and then I have 2 of these paper sorters that I love for toddler wooden puzzles. They work great for that, but also paper, of course, and just other random things get put in here. And then we have our starting collection of chapter books. My 7-year-old isn't quite fully independently reading on her own, like full chapter books yet, but I'm sure by the end of this year she will be. So I have our little starter collection of kids chapter books. And then I love these particular magazine holders or magazine files are wonderful because you can perfectly fit 5 in the Ikea Kallax cubes. So I have magazines, coloring books, journals, puzzle books, activity books, drawing books, sticker books, stencils, felt, all kinds of things here that we can easily get, but it just looks so much nicer than just setting them in there. And then the top row is stuff I don't want my kids to access on their own. So I have all of our Heart of Dakota books that I can easily grab when we are moving to those books. The ones we use daily are in our cart, but these are the ones we will pull from throughout the year. We've got our CD player to listen to our Hide 'Em in Your Heart verses, and this is kind of like my little mom teacher caddy with scissors and pencil sharpeners and all the things that I don't want them getting on their own yet, or at least I don't want my toddler to have. So they're up high and just extra homeschooling stuff. And then our reader books, and that's pretty much it on here. So this is looking behind one of the 2 areas next to the fireplace. So up top I keep any subscription boxes that we subscribe to that we didn't do all of the stuff to, or any kits like craft kits or science kits that our girls have been gifted or have bought on their own. We keep them up here for a rainy day or a time when it makes sense to pull them out. And then I keep a bunch of different sensory, like Small World play kits. We have these amazing Just Add Imagination Co sets that I love from Etsy, and then just various other things. So when we're doing some kind of sensory bin or just different felt mats, play and stuff like that, I can pull stuff out. And then on the other side up here, I just keep like extra craft supplies. We have yarn, we have extra daubers, we have beads and things like that. And then up there I have like cornmeal and Mod Podge and baby oil and shaving cream, just those kind of like household items that you need for certain crafts. I keep, these are all felt board sets I made years ago for storytelling, and then a couple empty spaces where I just have these extra things that I can use eventually. And then I have some sets of different animal bins, some kid tape measures, and then our bin of scarves. So that is our homeschool room. Thank you guys for joining me. I would love to know if you have a dedicated homeschool room or where you tend to homeschool. Maybe it's on the couch, maybe it's at the dining table, maybe it's at the park. All of those are also amazing options. I'm just very thankful to have this space, but we definitely have homeschooled in different areas, and I'm sure we will, especially in the winter months, to switch things up and make it a little bit more interesting and not like we are stuck in the house all day, every day. So thank you so much for watching. I would love if you would subscribe, and I will see you very soon. Bye.